Welcome back. In this episode we tackle some chain plate work, more work on the mast, look at a really cool VW, see the great Bruce Tipton at work, pull out a transducer, and tackle one more through haul. Step one is to expose the chain plates, and that was tedious work here. It's very fine, thin, old dry wood, and it just kind of splintered when I removed it. Don't really care because I'm going to redo it with new wood, and I'll make it a little bit easier to get at next time around.
So here's the starboard chain plate, the two center shrouds, and these plates came off what appeared to be protrusion in the fiberglass, but it's not. What's really there is what you can see, kind of a D shape. But the rest of this was just built up with 5200 or something similar. And the screws on these plates just went in, except for one. Actually hit some, looks like fiberglass over wood. But all the rest of the screws were just in the 5200. Kind of bizarre. All that junk came off. Port side. So here's where the backstay was. Finally got it out. Note that the dogleg in the backstay is pretty extreme compared to the other chain plates. So this one we tried to go down, but we ended up pulling it upwards to get it out. And I think with that extreme dogleg, that's the way to go. We loosened things up with an oscillating tool and just worked like you normally have to do. Take a couple hours to inch it along. So to pound our chain plates down through the deck, we used purple heartwood that was given to us by our wood boat neighbor here in the yard. But it's purple in color. I'm told it's not overly expensive. And when you shape it like a wedge, it'll pound your chain plate down without doing any damage. It's great stuff.
And here I'm taking some 120 grit paper to the chain plates to clean them up. You have to get them buffed up pretty good to see what kind of shape they're really in. And here they are. Couldn't find any cracking, but there's a lot of surface etching. Not too bad considering they're probably the original plates. And right across the pathway from me was a beautiful wooden schooner, and the owner also owned this fabulous Volkswagen bus. This is redone custom top to bottom, and it's all electric, as we can see right here. Again, it was gorgeous, and his boat, which you can see in the background now, was equally beautiful. So we're going back in time here a little bit, including some video that should have been in the previous video about pulling the mast off the boat. So today was a big day in the boatyard. We pulled the mast off. That was done by Brian Tuss Rigging here in Port Townsend. Ian, Chase, and Matt. Great job, led by Ian. Ian's a great guy, very knowledgeable. So anyways, the mast is gone. Let's go down and take a look. And there we are, we have the foils and the furlers. Got this guy marked up so no one runs it over, hopefully. And the mast. And right now I'm taking out the spreaders. Just so you know, on my Cheoy Lee 44, these smaller boats all have 7/16 nuts, and they're nylock nuts with washers, lock washers. And these two larger up against the mast, they're 1/2 inch. And just, these are nylock, but some are regular, so I would go with nylock. And I don't think the lock washer is necessary, but hey, if you know, you don't want to go up there too often, I would do the double duty and do the lock washer and the nylock. Can't hurt. For my old A-ganger Navy friends, this is a wrench, and the W is silent. So it's like, what wrench? And it's lefty-loosey and righty-tighty. Works like this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's an inside joke, so don't worry about it. And when I can, I like to take smaller parts home to the shop. Here Bonnie's sanding the spreaders down to bare wood. Get them prepped to put on some epoxy coating and primer and some nice glossy white paint. Also took halyards and sheets home and soaked them in woolite overnight. That works pretty well. You stir them once in a while and they came out looking pretty good. And here we are back on the boat. Just taking a walk around, assessing the damage. I don't know what it is. You start a small project or two, and the entire boat just gets totally destroyed. Funny how that works. And this wiring mess will be covered in a different video. So my original thought was to replace this just standard 3/4 inch ball valve through hull with like for like, but I ran into a clearance problem. Between that and the floorboards. We'll look here. So this guy originally was here, and then when I put the new fittings on, these guys, it hit the bottom of the cover board, so that wouldn't work. And I really didn't like the use of this type of valve with minimum thread engagement off a through hull fitting, so I went ahead and put in an actual seacock, and now I've got, as you can see, about 3/4 inch of clearance, so plenty of room. Now here we have a depth transducer that's been on the boat way too long. You can see it has a wooden fairing, and when I went to remove it, it just crumbled in my hands. That was an accident waiting to happen. All that just popped off with use of a pair of channel lock pliers without even working very hard at all. Meet master spar maker Bruce Tipton. Here Bruce is drilling some exploratory holes to determine the extent of the dry rot. So Bruce just left, and the plan is to put a new roller for replace the blocking and clean things up, and should be good. Shouldn't have to go any more deep than this. We'll find out tomorrow when we take this part off, but I'm hoping that's the case. Wrapping up for today. The gale or never gale coming in tonight, so people are scrambling. Yikes, is Bruce really cutting my mast? Well, the bad news is once he got that cheek off, it revealed that below the shiv box there was a lot of rot and some what appeared to be kind of wood bondo or something in there. So the extent of the damage is more than we thought. So he is going to do a clothespin type approach and replace both sides. And using the power planer here to knock off some excess wood to make it a little bit more palatable to the router. And you can see Bruce has got the 12-to-1 jig in place, and is just making passes to build that 12-to-1 glue surface into this side of the mast.
This is a chunk of a bad spreader. You'd think this is where the worst of it is, but nope. Over here, pretty bad. So, that'll be replaced.
And here we have Bruce doing a test fit of the new piece. He's working on some block work, internal blocking here, clearing some space out, and adjusting the cut a little bit, I believe. So that's the end of this mast work for this video. Be sure to tune in for the next episode to see the work to completion.